Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from and I got to say it right here because it's a long title, but it's a great organization, Professional Firefighters of Wisconsin Charitable Foundation. It's Aine King. Aine, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. And how are you doing today?
Well, good morning, Jeremy. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm super excited about this opportunity to share more about the work we do, Burn Awareness Week, and all that we're doing to support burn survivors. But I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Quite an amazing organization, first and foremost. And not just because you awarded us last year a media award. We certainly are thankful for that. But it is an awesome organization overall. For people who aren't familiar with what the organization is about, how would you sum it up?
Yeah, we say we're champions for burn survivors, firefighters, and safe communities all around the state. So, we like to think that everyone is touched by the work we do, whether through our fire safety and prevention initiatives or the work we do to support firefighters and their families during times of need. Of course, our main goal is to prevent fires and burns from happening at all. But when a burn injury does occur, we're there to provide support to burn survivors of all ages and in all stages of recovery. So that's our largest program and the reason we're here today. But we say our burn survivor support program is all encompassing. It includes burn awareness and advocacy, support for and coordination with the 3 Wisconsin burn centers, burn prevention, and then our aftercare programming for burn survivors, which of course includes our annual summer camp for burn injured youth, which we're super excited about, and then our young adult leadership program for burn survivors.
How many, I guess overall, how many burns are we seeing in Wisconsin overall? And I don't need the exact number, but to say that it happens all the time, more than you think, and the outcomes of it, it's a long lasting recovery.
Absolutely, yeah. We do know that last year alone in Wisconsin, there were 40 fire-related fatalities just in Wisconsin alone in 2021. As far as burn injuries go, that's a little bit harder to track and measure, but we know that nationwide, across the United States, more than 450,000 people are receiving medical treatment for burn injuries every single year. So it's a huge number there.
And typically in Wisconsin, do you guys track any of the numbers in Wisconsin? Like we see more burns because of campfires or more burns because of cooking. How does that break down?
I am so glad you asked that because actually this year's theme for the American Burn Association National Burn Awareness Week is burning issues in the kitchen. And that's because this year, or actually, in fact, always, cooking is a leading cause of fires in the home. So I've got a stat here, actually 47% of all home fires are caused by cooking. So that's what we see most of. So this year's National Burn Awareness Week is focusing on that and preventing fires while cooking.
For somebody who's not familiar with the different types of burns, and I'm not going to ask you to break that down or anything, but overall, if you do have a severe burn, what are some of the challenges that are faced after the incident happens? So as you're going through the process of recovery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the physical recovery is just the very first step. But then after a survivor receives physical treatment for their burn injuries, there's a lot of trauma caused by that. So that's one of the big goals of our summer camp for burn injured youth is to provide continued emotional healing from the trauma of these burns, build a lifelong support system for burn survivors. And then at burn camp, we just want kids to be a kid with other kids who have had similar experiences. So, it's a long road. It's unique for everyone, but we're proud to be able to support this programming to help in the emotional healing process.
Talking specifically about some of the burn and fire safety prevention that tie it together, how was that education? How do you get that out there? So are you working directly with the fire departments, hospitals? How does that prevention work together to get that information out?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, everything you just said. One of our big things every year is our fire safety newspapers and education. So every year we release around 500,000 physical print copies of this fire safety newspaper. It's really all encompassing. It has information on fire and burn prevention, burn treatment, burn awareness, home fire escape planning, the importance of working smoke alarms and fire sprinklers, gas and electrical safety, everyday risk reduction, and more. So every year we release that in conjunction with Fire Prevention Week. So we're super duper excited. This year is actually going to mark our 25th annual edition of that content. So we're working to make this year bigger and better than ever. So that content is released, or it's offered to students in every single school statewide. So we typically end up working with about 2,200 schools around the state, and getting it to students in those schools, as well as making it available to every fire department. And then we also release it in all 11 Gannett papers statewide. And this year, going along with the 25th annual edition and trying to make it bigger and better than ever, we're also trying to do more with digital content, as well as hitting other newspaper markets around the state to just try to get the newspaper everywhere around the state, and do what we can to prevent these fires and burns from happening at all.
Good note here. I'm gonna put that in my calendar right now, that we got to get you on the show to celebrate 25 years of great information and safety information. So we'll make sure we do that. Turning quickly here, I know we're talking about burn prevention and stuff, and Burn Awareness Week, but firefighter support too. And maybe because we've talked about it a lot here with Adam Dorn and the Fitchburg Fire Department, but that has become, I think, an awesome campaign of really supporting, and not just related to fire. I mean, we're talking fire today, but all public safety officials need support in so many different ways. Why is that so important, and what is your organization doing to help firefighters?
Absolutely. Yeah, again, firefighter support is one of our 4 areas of programming. So one big thing this summer, we recently released a disaster assistance toolkit for firefighters. And the goal of that is to provide immediate assistance to firefighters and their families during times of need. So we actually already deployed that in 2021 following the Waukesha Holiday Parade tragedy. Caledonia firefighter's son, Eric Teagues, was seriously injured in the parade. So we immediately released our disaster assistance toolkit, and over $80,000 was raised for Eric and his family, which was fantastic. So we were blown away by the support from everyone across Wisconsin, and nationwide, really. So that was great. But we know firefighters are dealing with additional stressors, PTSD, mental health concerns. So this past year, we released our 2nd annual Fire and EMS mental health survey. We got over 1,000 responses. So at this point, we're really trying to measure what the need is and then use that to inform our programming moving forward. So we've got a lot of things in the works there, but we know the support for firefighters is needed, now more than ever.
Absolutely. And, what your organization is doing on all fronts is pretty amazing. As we wrap up here, if people want to donate, learn more, and support the organization, how can they do so?
Thank you for asking. Yeah. If you pop on our website, that's going to be pffwcf.org. We've got a Be a Champion button there. And that really breaks down all of our volunteer opportunities, ways to donate, and other ways to support and give back. So that would be wonderful. We're always looking for additional staff members at our summer camp for burn injured youth. So on our website, we will release staff applications a little bit later this spring. So that's a wonderful way to get involved, and super fun. But yeah, just follow us on Facebook, see what we're up to. And we're always, looking for volunteers to help out.
All right, Aine, thank you so much for all the great information and the great work that you folks are doing over there. Certainly appreciate the time, and we will definitely get you back on the show, hopefully before Fire Awareness Week. But we can get you back in here either time. Thank you so very much, and we look forward to talking to you soon.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
You bet. Like I said, check out the website if you haven't, pffwcf.org for more information to learn about all the great things that this organization does. And we love sharing the information here on Talking Fitchburg. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching TF.